Good evening. Have you ever wanted to take a trip to the infamous Pearl Harbor in Hawaii? And you might ask, what is there to do and see there? Well, from personal experience, I recommend visiting the Battleship Missouri Memorial Museum. This one-of-a-kind museum has so much to offer. I am here to inform you about 3 exciting exhibits that you can find at the Battleship Memorial Museum. The first one is the Divine Wind Kamikaze in the Battle for the Pacific. The second one is the Surrender Deck, and the third one is the Navigation Bridge. Each exhibit has its own deep-rooted history leading back to the historical event World War II. The first point of interest I'd like to discuss with you all from the Battleship Memorial Museum is one of the newest exhibits featuring kamikaze artifacts. This exhibit showcases letters and poems written to and from families and pilots, and it also features photos of the pilots, uniforms they wore, and other information that you can find from the Battleship Memorial Museum. The USSMissouri.org states that the exhibit is located near the point on the battleship where a kamikaze plane actually struck the battleship on April 11th, 1945 during the Battle of Okinawa. Within the exhibit, you can find a letter written from a pilot to his fiancée. This letter expresses his thoughts and feelings regarding the war and his deep sorrow he had knowing that he would never see his loved ones again. Here is a picture taken of the letter taken from the Historical Hawaii Foundation website. Another interesting artifact you can find in this exhibit is the mascot dolls. Mascot dolls were made by Japanese women, and then they were given to pilots from their families or loved ones, and they were sent as a spiritual reminder of their loved ones as the pilots flew to their death. Here's a picture of the mascot doll, and this was taken by the National Naval Aviation Museum website. The Divine Wind exhibit is an emotionally stirring collection that allows people to take a glimpse of some of the darker pieces of World War II. The next exhibit is one of the most widely known exhibits on the battleship. This is the Surrender Deck, where World War II had come to an end. As you walk aboard the Surrender Deck, you may stumble upon the first major artifact. This is the Instrument of Surrender. The instrument, with the stroke of a pen, this was the official document that allowed millions of soldiers to go home to their families. The NationalArchives.gov states that the Japanese representatives and U.S. representatives such as General Douglas MacArthur and Fleet Admiral Chester Nimitz all signed the Instrument of Surrender, which ended the war. Other representatives from foreign nations were also present to sign. The USS Missouri is home. This is the picture of the Instrument of Surrender, and this was taken by the HistoryNet website. Another artifact found in the exhibit is the USS Missouri Surrender Plaque. This plaque was placed on the exact point on the ship where the Instrument of Surrender was signed. Here is a picture of the plaque, and this was taken by the U.S. Department of Defense website. The Surrender Deck is home to one of the most pivotal moments to happen in U.S. history. Now we will focus on our last exhibit of our tour. The Navigation Bridge, which played a prominent role during the USS Missouri's commission, and it was the central command center of the battleship where crew members and officers would often make tough decisions while at war and while at sea and during war situations. The USSMissouri.org states that the newly restored exhibit features new text panels that include 4 different languages, which makes the USS Missouri one of the first museums to incorporate 4 different languages within its informational displays. Here's the picture of the Navigation Bridge interior, and this was taken by Daniel Ramirez and accessed through Flickr.com. The exhibit also provides an audio experience. This gives visitors a chance to hear what was actually going on the day of December 7th, 1941. Here is a picture of the navigation bridge on a map, and this was taken from the Battleship Missouri Memorial website. The navigation bridge is an interesting exhibit that immerses its visitors and replicates the scene from the start of World War II. As we close, we have discussed three of my favorite exhibits on the Battleship Missouri Memorial. The first one was the Divine Wind exhibit, which featured kamikaze pilots during war. And the second one was the surrender deck, where World War II ended. And the third one was the navigation bridge, which played a crucial role during battle. I hope you enjoyed listening to this interesting information. Thank you for your time.